Good morning, guys. It's Gina. I'm going to run you through this quick layout that I made today. I'm scrapbooking the 2015 school picture of my niece. And the first thing I'm going to do is trim down the photo since there was a little bit of white on either side. You guys know how you get school pictures and you cut them yourself? I don't know. I've never been able to do it right? So I just cut that down a little bit and I cut some of that negative blue space off the top as well, just to make sure that the focus of the photo is directly on my niece. So I'm going to use this Martha Stewart punch, and at first I thought I would just do small sections of this paper, and you'll see I'm going to pull out the ruler here, and I'm going to try to make this all even, and in the end it turns into a disaster. So that all looks great, and then I realized that really this side should have been started up near the other one. So now look. So I'm like, what did I just do? So I'm trying to think, like, what am I going to do to fix this? So I decide to just go down deeper on all the sides of the paper to kind of pull that lace design out a little bit more so that it kind of looks unbalanced naturally or something like that. Well, basically, it's just making sure that I like what it looks like. So that's what I'm doing here, just going through and making sure that, I like it. So after that's finished, get rid of all that paper that creates. Then I'm just going to, there was a little spot, I didn't line the punch up exactly right, and so there was this little spot that was sticking out, and I'm going to play around with that a bit until I can get that looking straight. I need to change that camera angle. There's too much of my hair in the photo. At least I'm dressed and did my hair this day. That doesn't always happen when I'm scrapbooking. Typically, it's first thing in the morning and I'm in my pajamas with my hair up in a bun. So, this was actually in the middle of the afternoon, so that's good. Now, here's the very boring part. I'm going to put adhesive all over the back of this paper. You all know that I am an adhesive person. I liberally apply the adhesive. So I am really digging what that looks like. I like it a lot, but the problem is I pulled a little border strip out to put on the page. The issue with that was that the background paper is much darker, so I end up not using that border strip. And then I have this chipboard piece from Blue Fern Studios, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it at first, but then I decided that it really frames her face quite nicely. I don't mind ever using a frame over top a photo with the photo hanging out of it. I think it's a really cool look. I do it quite often if I'm going to use a frame. And mostly it's all about laziness. I mean, first of all, I wouldn't have cut this photo in that sort of weird configuration that heart would have created. But sometimes it's just, I'm just going to slap this frame on there to bring interest to where I want it, but I'm not going to cut the picture out. It's fine the way it is. So I'm just playing around here a little bit with what I want to do with the chipboard. And then these flowers are really interesting. I got them at a yard sale, and they're actually cut out of fabric. Like someone actually took the time. I don't know if it was a curtain or some pajamas, or I don't know what they come off of, but someone that I made, the person I probably bought them for, took them and actually cut them out of the larger fabric, and you can see that because you can see like where the fabric overhangs that little black outline of the flower. So I thought that was really cool, and this whole layout is pretty much inspired by the fact that I didn't want to put those flowers away. So I've been straightening up my scrap room for what seems like forever, and I just didn't feel like putting those flowers away. So that's why I was like, I have to sit down and use these flowers. Unfortunately, I have a bunch of blue ones left, so I don't know what I'm going to do with those. So I took this chipboard piece and I covered it with gesso first because, and I missed a spot, I covered it with gesso first before I applied my embossing powder, because I sometimes that chipboard color doesn't make the embossing powder gets dull on that gray sort of chipboard color. So I went over it with some gesso, and then I'm going to add my embossing. I thought I was going to use Versamark, and then I remembered that I have this embossing dauber, and then it just completely fell apart. And now I don't know what's going on with it. Like, it's really weird because now when I put the cap on the top of that dauber, it just pushes back up. So I can't get it to stay in. I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. This is not my favorite supply in the world. I much rather the Versamark pad. But I had it, so I wanted to use it. And there was like a lot of it up in the top. Like here you'll see. There was a lot of that embossed. Maybe I shouldn't keep it. I keep it in a drawer on its side. Maybe that's the problem. Something weird is going on. But I used a paintbrush just to take that out of the cap and then go over that chipboard. And here I'm going to use some it's glittery yellow embossing powder. And so I'm just gonna, here I messed up a little bit and I didn't get that sticky ink everywhere, but I just decided I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna put that back, close that up, because if I don't close it up, I will spill it. I'm like a magnet for that kind of stuff. And now I'm just gonna, heat emboss it. The thing about this is you have to be a little bit careful if you back that with gesso, because gesso, if you get it too hot, it'll bubble, and you don't want that to happen. So you want to definitely move your heat gun around a lot and not get one area so hot. Just hot enough to melt that embossing powder, but not to get that gesso so hot that it bubbles up. So just a little tip. I want to keep that in mind. Oh, my phone's going off. It's reminding me of all the things I'm supposed to be doing right now. I'm on my way to Chicago this morning, so I wanted to get these voiceovers done. I really want to get my YouTube channel back consistent, to get videos posted consistently. Traveling really hurts that, but I'm working on it. And now here is the ridiculous Gina move of the day. So I decided I wanted a little lace border on the top of this. It's an envelope from the Planner Society, I think. And so I decided I wanted a little lace border up there, but that punch actually takes the paper off. It doesn't give you a border, it just takes it off. So I'm like, well, that was dumb. So now I'm just lining my layout back up, my little cluster here. And so I'm going to put this envelope down, and then I thought about using that little lace piece at the top or the side there, and nope, that's just going to have to go in the scrap bin. That is not going to work. So I'm going to post a little girl here, my little niece. I'm going to use some Tombow, what is it? Tomo multi-glue, something like that. Just putting that on very sparingly because I don't want it to seep out of the sides. And then that's very cool. And now I'm going to arrange these flowers. And at first I thought I would just put them around that heart, but you'll see later on I decided to just go with the whole flower sort of thing. You'll see. I'm going to add a little bit of lace along the side of that. And the reason I did that is because that white, glassine bag, it just had a very hard edge, and I wanted to soften that up a little bit. I always use red sticky tape when I'm putting ribbon on, and then this time I don't have any fingernails. I cut them all off because I had been breaking them, and so I cut them all off, and now I don't have any fingernails, and I couldn't get that backing strip off. I will not admit to you how long this took. There we go. By the power of the video, it didn't look as long as it actually took. So very good. Put that on there. And now back to these flowers, just arranging them. And I'm going to use hot glue to put them on, because I love hot glue. The only thing is, if you're using hot glue on fabric, and I'm sure I don't have to warn you guys about this, but if you're going to use hot glue on fabric, just be careful when the heat seeps through that fabric. So you don't want to burn yourself. Ask me how I know. And now I wanted to name, I just love her precious little smile in this picture. So I used, these are some old, I think they're Amy Tan chipboard pieces. I don't know. I'm not buying new, I've said this before, I'm not buying new scrapbooking supplies. So I'm using up a lot of my old supplies. So that's where these came from. And I just put a couple of adhesive dots underneath of that those yellow leaves there. And then I'm going to use some of these gems that I got from a ATC store a long time ago. You're going to hear that. That's going to be the theme of the year, a long time ago. And I'm going to add just centers to these flowers using those gems. And then I was thinking about other embellishments to add, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And none of those other chipboard pieces really worked. And then I'm going to look at this L Studio. I didn't really need a whole lot of journaling. This is a school picture, so I didn't really need a whole lot of journaling. There's not much to say about it. I mean, I do love her little cute little smile. These are also from that ATC store. Pink stuff. I wish I could remember what it's called, but I don't remember. These are pink and gold. I didn't have anything that was... Oh, you know what? I do actually have pink and yellow alphabets now that I sit here and think about it, but this worked just fine. So I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to arrange these letters here, and it's just her name and then the year, because like I said, it's a school picture, so doesn't need a whole lot of explanation. And then I'm actually going to use this Xyron, which I have not used in ages, but I'm going to use it and to put the adhesive on the back of these numbers and letters. It works great. I don't know why I don't use it more. And you know I have a million refills for the stupid thing. So I'm going to use my brayer. I find that this is the best way not to get those little strands of adhesive. Oh, I'm supposed to be doing something else right now. That's what that little beeping is in the background. I apologize for that. So I used my Xyron to put the adhesive on the back of these letters and numbers. And I need to keep that thing out. I really like how that worked. But I used that brayer to really make sure that that film goes over those and sticks to where it needs to stick to so that you don't get all of those strands of adhesive. So then I put her name and the date, and I'm thinking to myself, like, what else am I going to do? You know, it's done. And then I decide I have all of these flowers, so why not just go for it and add a little... You know, so you move your viewer's eye from the left to the right. That's a very natural movement for, you know, for us. And so I just decide that I'm just going to line these along this. And again, using hot glue, just a little bit will do it. And then you'll see I'm going to go back and I'm going to add the gems. I put the gems in I have a tray. And when I'm picking out supplies for my layouts, I just go shopping in my room and I put all of the supplies I'm going to use in this tray. And I had already put, and then as I use them and I'm done with them, I put them back in the tray. And I'd already put these gems back in the tray because I thought I was done with them. But as it turns out, no. So I line these flowers all up, and I have to be honest, sometimes I do layouts and I'm like, ugh, I don't know what I was doing there. And then other times I do layouts and I'm like, I really love this. And this is really one of the ones where I'm like, I just really like this. I don't know why, but I just really like this layout. It's, I like it when things go. And then, you know, a couple more flowers, why not? And I really just felt like that filled in that negative space that I had on the layout. I'm doing like one of my next layouts will be a lift of a layout Shelly did. And Shelly uses a lot of negative space in her layout, so it's giving me a bit of anxiety. I'm like, I don't know, I can't leave all that space empty. I understand that you have to have places for your eye to rest and all that. I get it. But I'm like, ooh, I don't know. I was going to do my journaling in the upper right-hand corner because I felt like that corner was very blank. And again, I needed to fill up the space. So I felt like that corner was very blank. And I felt like I needed to move that black a little bit up into that corner. I'm going through now and I'm looking at some word stickers. And this one says awesomeness. And it has black. The word is in black. So I felt like that balanced out the layout a bit. And then I'm just adding a couple of more word stickers. One of them says happy. Oh, I think it's just one. Just that one that says happy. And then I'm going to take some of these gems that I had left. And I'm going to put those up here. Because it said hashtag awesomeness. And hashtag is I have a love-hate relationship with hashtags. So I put them up there just to bring again that black and that pink and that yellow up into that corner. And then that's it. So here's a final look at the layout. I hope you enjoyed it. I love it. So if you want more information about it, you can head over to the blog and there will be lots of information there. And I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will talk to you next time. Take care of yourselves. Bye.